Hey everybody, it's your boy MK. I wanted to start a short video series covering the AI music videos that I worked on with major brands such as Rotana Music. Now, Rotana Music is a Middle Eastern music distribution company, and since I've been working from Egypt, you've probably never heard of these songs before. So first up, we have an AI music video that I created for an extremely well-known Moroccan singer called Abdel-Fatah Grini. And the song's name is El Hilm El Wardi. That's not relevant. I'm just gonna watch the music video with you guys and share some of my insights behind the creation process. So I was on a bit of a tight budget. I had access to Runway, but I didn't want to use up all my credits. So some of these simple environment shots didn't actually require me to pay anything at all. That's because I used Comfy UI's Stable Video Diffusion. Stable Video Diffusion doesn't work as well with characters, but it does surprisingly well with environments or objects to create some slight 3D camera movement. This is our singer, Abdel-Fatah. And generally, when I'm trying to make a consistent character, the first thing I do before I go to any of these image generators is I try to get the prompt as close as possible to the singer's actual description. Now, Abdel-Fatah Grini has long braided hair with dreadlocks. Of course, he's Middle Eastern with a somewhat slim figure. So all that had to be nailed down in the prompt before I start swapping faces. There are other ways to train your AI to produce consistent characters, but the fastest, most cost-efficient method is to first get the prompt right and then do some meticulous image selection. Now, sometimes you have to hide some of the flaws. Like over here, I really liked this image, but I blurred the edges of his braided hair here because it looked very feminine, like with a lot of hair ties. This one I think was also animated with Stable Video Diffusion. Slight head movement. You can control the degree of motion you want in the video. So usually when I'm working with faces or characters, I turn the motion quite low, which is usually enough to create some sort of head movement along with the camera motion. Now this was a little trick I did over here. Yeah, you see how I blurred this part right here? It's because in the AI video I generated, he was looking down and then his eyes kind of warped and then he started looking at the camera. So it looked really weird and off-putting. Now this clip was much longer, so I was able to time it just right with the beat. So I added a blur when his eyes warped, and by the time the blur goes away, it just looks like it was intentional while he was looking at the camera. You know, kind of freaky, right? Oh. Mind you, this was back in March 2024. Image and video generation has advanced quite a lot since then. So I was working with free tools. Like the motion is a little too slow, characters a little too stiff and inconsistent. I got the opportunity to work on another music video in September 2024, and it's miles better than this. And that's another key point. It goes to show you how much you really need to stay updated with these tools so you know how to use the most advanced techniques. If you're just a couple months behind, it can look outdated real quick. Just watch. Of course, I put some post-processing. Sometimes, if the character is too far away from the camera, the face looks a little weird. So over here, I knew that the focus wasn't gonna be on this guy's face. So I blurred his face. It's not too obvious until I point it out again. I'm just trying to show that there's a poor man shoving a cart down the street. And that's the first thing that stands out. Within the 3 seconds that this clip is showing, no one's gonna notice or pay attention to the blurred face. Over here, can you spot what's wrong with this photo? I'll give you a second. Yes, I blurred something. It's his fingers. He had like 7 fingers. Another point is the smoke behind him. It really looked like it was coming out of his ass, but thankfully the video was like 5 seconds long, so I can trim the part that I want that doesn't look too weird. And then what I would do is I would slow it down and do some frame interpolation. Stable Video Diffusion. Yeah, I worked on Stable Video Diffusion hard during this one. And I think these images also, a lot of them, if not most of them, were created using Stable Diffusion 1.5. Flux wasn't out They weren't that keen on having photorealistic images, so I didn't use Midjourney. And straight up stylized. Here, I think his hands also had something wrong. I can't really tell what was wrong with them. Maybe it was something behind him. His face is clear, everything else is blurred. Ah, yes, this shot, worth noting. The crowded shot right after this one. Now, there was plenty wrong with the original video clip over here. People's heads started warping, legs. AI was not good at handling this amount of people in one shot. So, what I did was, I played it to the beat, you know, a little front, a little reverse. Simple, video editing trick. Man, I really used the hell out of Stable Video Diffusion. This is Stable Diffusion 1.5. It's so obvious. This was Animate Diff, actually. I thought it looked really cool. I was worried it wouldn't fit into the song, but I had made this really cool animation using Animate Diff in Comfy UI of a seedling sprouting into a flower. And Animate Diff makes some really nice morphing animations. They don't look realistic at all, but I think this is the only Animate Diff clip I used in this music video. Let's watch it again. Yeah, I blurred that baby's hand over here. Honestly, man, wow, we've come so far. Flux is like 20 times better than this. Yeah, see this? Beautiful. Oh man, it's so nice when you have a landscape. I turn the degree of motion way up and you can get this beautiful little 3D pan all around it. No issues, right? If the landscape's far away, the object's not really in focus, none of the objects are supposed to be moving, like it's not a car or a bike on the road, right? Simple still images like this, the camera movement looks incredible. I love using Stable Video Diffusion for these kinds of shots. For this shot over here, obviously I use Stable Video Diffusion, and you can tell, I think it looks very similar to Hyper. I think Hyper might actually be using some sort of enhanced Stable Video Diffusion. You can just tell by the little artifacts and like distortion with some objects, especially like fine objects, very textured or like multiple objects piled up like that. When the camera is moving, you can see it sort of warp. Again, at first glance, the viewer knows that this is AI. They understand what the scene is conveying. You know, it's a market with a bunch of spices. No one really looks too much into this. At least back in March 2024, right? Now, the standards have certainly increased. The bar has been raised. This is a really nice shot, looks pretty photorealistic. One of the most photorealistic shots. This is a cool shot as well. I really like fire. Stable Video Diffusion animates fire pretty well. There is something wrong with this shot, which is not immediately obvious, but maybe you'll spot it. It's this thing over here, floating in the air, right? It's not really attached to this thing. It looks like some kind of furnace, right? It's supposed to be a blacksmith station. Straight up stylized. These birds, man. It's one of those things that you don't really notice there's something really wrong with them until you really look, you know? None of these birds look anatomically correct, right? Some of them are flying backwards. Some of them have like really long tails or beaks, or they look like penguins or stingrays. You can't tell what this is. But again, it's quick. You can blur some of it and choose the exact part of the clip that you want to use, and it's fine. Just move on. Especially when there's lyrics and music and post-processing video editing effects, like it becomes sort of a whole picture instead of just analyzing each clip. That's one of the pros of working on AI music videos, is that you have a lot of leeway. You can work with the beat, you can work with lyrics, you can do shot selection to pace and sequence fast moving shots and shots with low amount of motion. Yeah, I ended it with a few portraits and this nice little shot of a mic. And here, this is my name over here, Muhammad Aid. I made the AI music video in collaboration with the Womb Tech, who got me the contract. And yeah, I honestly loved working on this music video. I love the track that Abdel-Fatah Grini made. It was an absolute pleasure and honor. These are pretty much my takeaways. I hope you guys learned something. In one of the following videos in this series, I'm going to cover a much more advanced AI music video where I used more up-to-date techniques. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you work with AI or content creation in general. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my insights. If you did, please like the video. It helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you want to see me break down more AI music videos. And stay creating, stay awesome.